Pre-expansion patch is on the downloader, my friends, and we have only 30 days remaining in the Mists of Pandaria remix. And today I'll share with you a little random check-in, as always, as to what I think you should be doing before the patch drops and very soon thereafter. So, if this is your cup of tea, as always, my club is always welcome here, newcomers are welcome here. Please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, I have already a metric ton of alts. We're gonna talk today about how to best level alts right now, spoiler alert as well. But here's what I think, like, very quickly. So, patch drops on the 23rd, at least in Australia. Next week, Tuesday for us, well, Wednesday morning, it's gonna be available. Everywhere in the world, it's slightly different, yeah? There will be a lot of changes. There will be warbands, which you don't really have to do anything about, in my humble opinion. All of your alts are going to rejoice, all of the transmogs are going to be amalgamated, going to be available for everyone, all the currency will be there, all achievements are going to be all in one big bucket. You may spend some time sorting out your bank, you will have a warband bank, so that is something to do, like kind of stuff. Beyond that, I think for us alcoholics, it's going to be mostly about visual arrangement of this clutter above me, yeah? So it's all that stuff that is usually bothering me, which is why I delete my characters sometimes and then restore them. But warbands are going to make it easier. So that's something to do next week. Obviously, there will be new specs as well, new sub-specs, new... I call them sub-specs, but they are those hero talents, yeah, hero talents. So we're going to be playing with those. I'm going to be not relying as much on Wowhead, maybe for inspiration at maximum, but I'm going to be releasing some videos next week about what I think about my subclasses and those hero classes for my tanks. What do I prefer? Even though these are already kind of known quantities, if you have been on the topic, I deliberately have not been theorizing too much. I want to see it in practice. I want to test it. This is going to be fun. I'm going to try and reserve that fun for next week, and what I think you should be doing too if you're anything like me. So that's something to do next week. However, the real thing for us alcoholics is going to be to play gearing catch-up. That gearing catch-up is not going to happen next week. It's going to happen from the 30th of July, and it's going to go for roughly 3 weeks or whatever. They are not making that event where that currency, where those memories of Azeroth are going to be popping up all over the world and you'll be killing them and getting currency and buying catch-up gear. They are not going to make that event available straight away. They never do. It's going to be 1 week later. So, right now, as you're watching this video, and freshly after the new patch drops, you spent a couple of hours looking at your warband, sorting it out, what are you going to do? Well, there are going to be awakened raids. Awakened raids are going to be available. All raids currently in Dragonflight are going to become awakened. So if you are still looking for those transmogs, looking for some of those gear board that you can buy with those rare bullions, whatever are dropping in the awakened raids, that's what I'd be doing as well, probably. However, if you're not like me and you don't have such an incredible, almost embarrassing army of alts, I think you still should spend at least 1 more week, no, not those 30 days, as opposed to what it says to you on the screen. I don't know, to be honest with you, why Blizzard decided to make such a massive overlap between the Mists of Pandaria remix and release of the pre-expansion content. That I think is a bit of a miscalculation. But I think you still can spend some time leveling your alts. So how to level the alts? I have released a lot of videos, some of them were lacking kind of information, and that information was drip fed as I was discovering more and you were helping me out along those lines. So watch just the most recent one, it probably would have the latest information for you. TLDR, too long didn't read, you need to do normal raids and you need to do heroic dungeons between those raids to get to the next bracket of when the next raid opens, next raid opens, next raid opens. That's how I leveled probably the second half of all of my alts that you're seeing right now on the screen, and beyond this on other realms. Here is one punchy thing. So people are saying, or at least like those prolific content creators for whom this is a job, really, they are saying level in 2 hours in Mists of Pandaria from 10 to 70. Guys, unless you are crazy well organized and unless you have someone to almost train you through those dungeons, unless you at the very least have someone who you can trade with and who can give you legendary level gems to turn your fresh alt into a twink straight away who just destroys absolutely everything with one blast of Holy Nova, and unless you want to play Holy Priest the whole time. I already have 2 just out of funsies, but who needs more than 2? So unless that's the case, I would strongly, respectfully doubt that you can get from 10 to 70 right now in Mists of Pandaria Remix. So I don't think that that's a realistic expectation that you should maintain. So that's my kind of friendly advice to you. I still think you should level, but I don't think you should expect to be there in 2 hours. Neither should you even rush, in my opinion. What else are you going to do? Take your time. Okay, how to do it? So I was doing it organically, as in I do a dungeon, I get some bonus XP, it levels me up a little bit, I do another dungeon, it slowly gets me to the bracket of the next normal raid, I queue for the normal raid, I get blah 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 blah. I slowly leveled up there. Apparently that's not, again, not the most optimal way, at least people say so. Apparently what you're supposed to do is leave those bonus experience tokens behind on the dead bodies of the bosses in heroic dungeons and raids. Why? Because you pick up threads, because you're boosting XP bonus on your cloak, naturally, and instead of capitalizing and cashing in on that bonus experience token right there and then, you wait until your cloak plus experience bonus boosts to exorbitant amounts of 300 plus, and then you cash in on all of them, essentially getting from each token a lot more than you would have gotten otherwise. Makes absolutely logical sense to me. It does. Another word of warning, more from a fellow alcoholic who plays and still wants to have fun, as opposed to turn it into a really boring chore. Guys, here's what I noticed as I did that, exactly that, leaving tokens behind. Your leveling experience slows down quite substantially while you're leaving those bonus tokens behind, and you are not getting that little tiny surge of whatever is the hormone that is giving us a little bit of that fun. You just suddenly feel like you slowed down drastically up front. You're not getting that ding, that surge of that, yay, I feel good, yay, I feel good, yay, I feel good. You don't get that. You are sort of like banking on the fact that you are gonna, it's kind of like a crude analogy of work all your life and then maybe you'll have fun when you retire. Do you know what I mean? Bad idea, by the way. You need to have fun in the meantime. You need to live a life. So what I'm saying to you is that, is it the most optimal way mathematically in terms of get, well, close to nothing, then boom, everything? Probably. However, two things. First, please be aware, especially if you have a lot of alts, maybe first one, second one are going to be okay, it's going to be a bit of a change of pace, and you're going to be like, oh, interesting, and then you get to about level 40, and then you cash in on all of them, and like, whoa, you're 70. Yeah, there's a bit of a surge there, a big surge there, but you have to wait for it. Quite a bit, and it's boring, by the way, it's boring. Secondly, if this was the right method, the ultimate right method to level early on in Mists of Pandaria Remix, right now, my friends, only 30 days, well, only another month remains, but I can tell you that it seems from the population, because I play all the time, well, not as much as those pros do, but I log in every night, like for a little bit, just poke around. I can tell you straight away that the amount of people who are leveling actively right now, the amount of people who are running those raids all the time has reduced dramatically, at least by half, from what I can just tell. This means that your queue for the heroic dungeons to get to the next level necessary to go to another raid is going to be much slower, because your queue, even as a tank, increases to 2-3 minutes. It's not instant anymore. To get into the raids, there are fewer raids. Even when you create your own raids, which I recently started doing because I'm in Oceania, I am the OCE raids. So yeah, you have a choice, but they fill up slower, you level slower. Point of it all is that you level slower. Yeah, and if with that slowness you're also not getting that surge of extra bonus experience in between as you level, I would dare say at this second half, but psychologically it feels like the tail end of Pandaria Remix for me. I feel like it's almost not the best psychologically satisfaction-wise way to level. Mathematically maybe still, but even that is a question mark because of how slow the queue now is, how slow everything else became. I welcome your opinion. Tell me how your experience is. Maybe you're on different realms, maybe you're in different time zone, obviously, and maybe in your time zone it's peak hour and everything is cool. For me, in Australia, that's what I'm noticing, okay? With that being said, once again, summarizing, verdict, summarizing it is this. Very much looking forward to the pre-patch. Very much looking forward to those radiant echoes when the memories of Azeroth start coming and we start getting the catch-up gear to dress up all this army of alts. Very much looking forward to that, but that's not for another week. In between, I'm not gonna level. I have another game that I'm downloading right now. I'm gonna play something different on Steam to just get my eyes off this and then enjoy it even more so that I don't like overexpose myself. Yeah, that's another advice. Maybe that's the right thing for you to do right now. But if you don't have that many alts, now is still a good chance for you to level. And leaving those tokens behind seems to be mathematically the best way to do it. But psychologically, it may be something that will only turn into a bit of a boring drag/slog that you may not be expecting and may be disappointed by. Just be prepared. Just know what to expect, and then maybe you will have still some fun in the process, because let's not forget, the games are to have fun. It's a job. For us, it's like a daily routine, evening routine for some of us. We make ourselves a tea and we just log in, what's happening here, what's happening there. But it still needs to be fun. So that is ultimately what I'm encouraging you to do always. I hope this is healthy, entertaining, and I hope you will remain the member of my club into the war within, because I am definitely going to be playing and I look forward to it. I hope so are you. Give the video a like before you go, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you next week about something probably pre-patch related. Goodbye for now.